All right, today we're diving into a really fascinating spiritual text. It basically challenges us to completely rethink reality as we know it. The whole idea is that there are these universal laws working behind the scenes, shaping our lives in ways we probably don't even notice. Let's get into it.
So the entire philosophy here kicks off with this one single powerful question. It just asks you to stop and think. What if this world you see, the one you interact with every day, your job, your car, all that stuff, what if that's not the real reality? What if it's more like a shadow or a reflection of something much, much deeper?
So, how could the world we see not be the real one? Well, this text suggests it's because we're actually living in two different realities at the exact same time. There's the world outside of us, and then there's the world within us. And one is temporary, while the other, well, that one is eternal.
And you can see the contrast right here. I mean, it is stark. On one side, you've got the external world, the human world, which it calls an illusion. It's where we experience suffering and feel separated from everything. But on the other side, you have the inner, divine world, and that's described as the true reality, the source of peace and unity.
And boom, this quote just nails it. The text puts it so plainly. Everything external, from your house to your job title, it's all temporary. It's an illusion, and you can't take it with you. The only thing that's truly yours, the only thing that actually lasts forever, is what you build up inside your own soul.
Okay, so if this peaceful inner world is our true home, then what's the deal? Why do we feel so lost in the chaos of the external world all the time? Well, the text points a finger at one specific culprit, what it calls the human ego. Let's take a look.
Now, let's be super clear about what this text means by ego. It's not just about, being arrogant or having a big head. The ego, as it's defined here, is the part of you that is completely obsessed with the temporary physical world. It's that voice in your head that's always judging, always getting offended, and always craving praise from other people.
And here, you can really see the ego in action. It's that part of us that judges people to feel a little bit better about ourselves. It's the part that needs that like or that pat on the back. It gets offended at the drop of a hat, holds on tight to material stuff, and creates this constant sense of me versus them. It makes everything about itself.
I absolutely love this metaphor from the text. It's so vivid. It compares the ego to a matchstick. Think about it. It flares up, gives off this quick, bright light when it gets what it wants, and then it's gone. It just collapses into nothing. It's such a powerful image of how fleeting and ultimately how empty a life lived for the ego really is.
Right. So if the ego is the problem, what's the solution? Well, the text doesn't just leave us hanging. It offers a really powerful alternative, connecting with our true self, which it calls the inner being.
And this inner being is basically the flip side of the ego coin. It's the complete opposite. It's not temporary, it's eternal. It's not an illusion. It's the very source of truth and life itself. It's described as that divine spark inside every single one of us, our direct, unbreakable line to the universe, to God, or as the text calls it, the all.
And here's the real kicker. This source makes it so clear that finding this peace, this truth, it isn't about looking for something out there in the world. Nope, it's an inward journey. It means we have to quiet all that external noise and actually learn to see and hear with our inner senses.
Okay, but how does this actually work? How does connecting with this inner part of us change anything on the outside? Well, the text explains it all through what it calls a fundamental law of reality, a cosmic principle that is shaping everything we experience, whether we know it or not.
And here it is, boiled down to its absolute simplest form. This is the central engine of reality, according to this teaching. You can think of it like a cosmic boomerang. Whatever energy you send out into the universe, and I mean any form of energy, that is the exact same energy that's going to find its way back to you.
It all kicks off right here, inside your own head. The text actually calls our feelings and thoughts advance workers. They're like the blueprints for our reality. Before we ever do anything, the energy of our intention, what we're thinking and feeling, has already been sent out, and it's already setting the stage for what comes next.
And then, of course, come our words. Every single word we speak isn't just a sound. It's a little packet of energy, and it carries an echo. So when we speak from that ego place, from a place of negativity or I can't, we're sending that energy out, and it's that very same echo that comes right back to us.
And that brings us to our actions, our deeds. This completes the whole cycle. An action that comes from your true inner being, like an act of genuine kindness with no strings attached. That energy doesn't just vanish. It flows right back into you and literally builds your external reality as light and power.
So, what does this all mean for you? Well, the idea here is pretty mind-blowing. It means we're not just passive victims of whatever life throws at us. We are active creators. Every single one of us is like a cosmic radio tower, a sending and receiving station. And the world we see around us, it's not random. It's a perfect mirror, reflecting back the signals we've been broadcasting.
Okay, that is a huge concept. But how do we actually do it? How do we switch channels and start broadcasting from our inner being instead of our ego? Well, the text gives us some really clear, practical advice on that.
All right, so here's the path it lays out for us. Step 1, practice silence. Avoid all that useless chatter that just comes from the ego. Step 2, remain impersonal. Stop taking everything so personally, as if it's an attack on you. Step 3, serve selflessly. Give just for the sake of giving, not to get something back. And finally, step 4, rely on the eternal. Put your trust in that inner world, not in the material stuff that comes and goes.
And listen, this is really important. This is not about running away from the world and meditating on a mountain somewhere. The truly wise one, as it says here, lives right in the middle of the world. But they just operate from a totally different frequency. They become a channel for something bigger, acting from a place of selflessness, where it's not them acting anymore, but something divine acting through them. So we end up right back where we started, with a question. If this text is right, if our inner world truly, literally creates our outer reality, well, that leaves us with an incredible amount of responsibility, but also an incredible opportunity. The question then isn't what's the world going to give me, but what kind of world am I creating with every single thought, word, and action? So what will you create today?